Hello, doctor. Hello, everyone. I'm Nisshaa. My research proposal topic is Malaysian students' perception of learning speaking skills through computer mediated communication. This is my research outline. There's three sections. First is introduction, literature review, and also research methodology. Alright, let's go to introduction. In here, you will hear me speaking of definition of computer-mediated communication (CMC), research problem, research purposes, research questions. Now, let's see the definition of computer-mediated communication. What is that? It is a communication that occurs between two or more individuals via computer networks. Now, there's two types of computer-mediated communication. One is synchronous, another one is asynchronous, right? So what is synchronous? Synchronous meaning when we all have class in Google Meet with doctor, it is happening in real time. That is synchronous. What is asynchronous? It is how I'm explaining to you right now and you're listening, right? So it is delayed, it's not in real time. So that is asynchronous. Next is research problem. There's two research problems in my study. First is, has computer-mediated communication, CMC, is widely used in education and learning language. It's important to investigate students' point of view of learning English speaking skills through CMC. Next is, there's very limited research study regarding students' perception of learning speaking skills through CMC in Malaysia. Next is research aim. There's three research aim in my study. First is to identify the perception of students on learning English speaking skills through CMC in Malaysia. Next is to investigate how CMC helps students to speak English. Last but not least, to identify which type of CMC, either a synchronous computer mediated communication or synchronous computer mediated communication, students prefer. My research questions are: what are students' general perception towards learning English speaking skills through CMC? Next is how CMC helps students to speak English. Third, what are students' perception about learning English speaking skills through a synchronous computer mediated communication and synchronous computer mediated communication, and which do they prefer? My literature review, there's 4 parts. First is you'll see the use of CMC for ELT. Next is the use of CMC for ELT in Malaysia. Next is CMC for ELT in speaking skills. Then you will see students' perception of computer mediated communication for learning. Now let's see the use of CMC for English language teaching. The first author, Jarvis 2005, argues that there must be a great shift from traditional notion of curriculum and syllabus to computer-mediated communication. Next author, Charupan and other authors 2001, says that teachers use email for ALT class to improve the English of students. However, some of the teachers find CMC is a waste of time and it's very complex to use as some of them are old. The last author states that CMC is very useful learning source. However, there are many errors in synchronous computer-mediated communication writing. The use of CMC in ELT class in Malaysia. The first author, Kaur and Sidhu 2010, finds that There is very slow feedback from the teachers or the lecturers. The lecturers or the teachers need to give the students very clear guidelines to follow if they are using CMC in the class. Next, they also stated that some students have very lack of computing abilities. The next author, Krish 2010, finds that students actively participate in the discussion. Also, CMC helps students as a distant learner. Next is the CMC for ELT in speaking skills. How it helps. So basically, all the three authors says that CMC really improved the speaking skills among students. The students' perception of CMC for learning. Based on the literature review here, most students stated that there's no immediate feedback from the teachers. Next, they said that it saves time and this is very convenient for them to learn anywhere. Next is that they are very confident to share their ideas, and everyone had the opportunity to share idea and talk in the class. Next, we'll go into research methodology. I am going to use mixed methods in this research. First is quantitative research online questionnaires. This will answer research question 1, research question 2, and research question 3. The data will be analyzed using SPSS. Next is qualitative research. I'll interview students. This will answer research question 1, research question 2, and research question 3. And I will analyze it through thematic analysis. Samples. 50 email will be sent to undergraduate students from University of Malaya. 3 graduate students are needed for qualitative research for interview from University of Malaya. Now, quantitative research method. So the first thing that I'll do is to construct the question. How do I do it? I'll review the literature, brainstorm with my teacher, my mentor, and few students. I'll use Likert scale to measure research question 1, 2, and 3. Then I'll conduct a pilot study on the questionnaire to avoid any mistakes from the questionnaire. Third is I'll email the questionnaire to 50 undergraduate students and 2 reminder will be sent. Finally, I'll analyze the collected questionnaire by SPSS to conclude the finding. Next is qualitative research method. First is I'll get the permission from the students to interview and record their voice in audio tape. Next is to invite them for a volunteer response, and there will be 3 students. Next, we'll conduct semi-structured interview and I'll ask about the 3 research questions, that is research question 1, 2, and 3. And then after conducting the interview, I will transcribe the audio tape into words. Later, I'll find the codes and then make it into the themes. Later, I'll have the result or the finding from the interview. Now the question is, how am I going to conclude the findings? So from the questionnaire, I will take the most frequent answer that the student stated. Then from the interview, I'll take the important themes and compare them to get the final finding. Why I conduct two types of research is to have a reliable result or findings. The research expectation, it will be able to understand students' perception of learning English speaking skills to CMC and how it helped students to speak. Next is I will understand the students' perception of asynchronous computer mediated communication and synchronous computer mediated communication. Lastly, students' preference of which type of CMC will be found. Ethical consideration. Online questionnaires are anonymous. I will get the permission to record the student's voice in audio tape. The next two pages are reference, and that's all from me. Thank you so much.